Hi Year 7s, today we're going to be working through the netball and looking at the basic skills and rules that you're going to need to know to play this game. So first one we're going to look at is the chest pass. As you can see here, there are a few parts that make it up, and the first thing we're going to look at is that we use two hands. The fingers should be spread out behind the ball. You keep your elbows low and relaxed, and you need to transfer your weight from back to the front foot, and your front foot should be the one that's preferred. Lastly, you've got to push out the ball and point your fingers towards your target. The next skill we're going to look at in netball is the shoulder and bounce pass. Both these passes use the same technique, we're just aiming at different areas. So for this technique, we want to start in a balanced starting position with our opposite foot forward from the throwing arm. We need to make sure we steady the ball with the second hand, especially if we don't have big hands like I do. Then just spread your fingers wide behind the ball and not under it. And then you've got to transfer your body weight from your back foot to the front foot to get that extra power onto the pass. Lastly, if you're doing a shoulder pass towards the chest, you want to finish with your arm pointed towards your partner. And if you're doing a bounce pass, you want to be aiming for about halfway or just over halfway so that ball can bounce up to your partner's chest as well. The last skill of netball we're going to look at today is shooting, and this is probably the most difficult one to master and requires a lot of practice. Some things to remember is to keep your feet in a comfortable position facing forward and not too far apart, just under shoulder width. You want to put the ball on your dominant hand and high above the head. Fingers point back and the ball sits in your hand. The second hand is placed on the side for the ball to steady it in its position. Elbows slightly bent and lined up in the direction of the post so everything is facing and going in one line towards the ring. Our focus points, or where we should be looking, is just above the ring to give height to your shot. We want to make it go up like a rainbow over that ring. Your wrist flicks as you release the ball, and that's going to help give it backspin, which if you see in the picture, it helps it to roll back through. In netball, every player has a position, and these players must stay within their area on the court. In the tables below, you can see that where each player can go by the green area identified. So a centre is able to go in the middle third, the attacking third and the defensive third, but not in the Ds. The wing attack is allowed to go in the centre third and the attacking third, but not in the Ds. This goal attack is allowed to go into the centre third, into the attacking third, and also the D, and can also shoot. The goal shooter is only allowed in the attacking third and the D, and can shoot as well. The wing defence is allowed in the centre third and the defensive third, but not in the D. The goal defence is allowed in the centre third and the defensive third and the defensive D, and it defends the goal attack to try and prevent them from scoring goals. And lastly, the goalkeeper is allowed in the defensive third and the defensive D, and is trying to stop their goal shooter from scoring as well. Last thing we're going to do today is look at the main rules in netball. First call that you might hear is held ball, and this is where you can only hold the ball for 3 seconds at a time. You might also hear stepping, where you're not allowed to take more than one step, and you must pivot on the ball of your foot to be able to move and change direction. Offside is when you go outside your area that was discussed in the previous slide. Contact is when you either hit the ball or an opposition player. If you do this, you'll then be asked to step out of play and stand next to the person or the position that you've made that contact. And lastly, there's obstruction, where you move within the 3 feet zone and you play defence with a player who has the ball. And again, you'll be told to stand out of play if this occurs.